today on the Ivy Ball and Basketball Show, we're gonna review Glory Road. I feel like it's an underrated film for real, for real. I think it's a real underrated film, and I think it's pretty dope that we're gonna do this, in February, Black History Month. So, but before we go, I want to introduce my guest, William. Tell everybody about your Road to William channel and where they can find you on social media.
What up, what up, what up? Road to William. I'm on YouTube. Um, I talk about, current events, culture, do interviews, all that, reviews. I'm on a movie review kick, so if you got any ideas, let me know in the comments what movie I should review next. Um, Black specifically right now. At Black History Month, okay, representing. But I'm also into doing TV shows too, so let me know what show y'all think I should review. But yeah, Road to William, a vibe out.
One Stop Shop channel, variety of topics. Go visit, go check that out. Oh, and also make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm doing daily drops. I'm doing the 30-day challenge. And so, I'm almost there. I'm halfway there, so support me, tell everybody about my channel, But without further ado, Glory. I think it's a great movie. It's like a Disney movie, but basically it's about 1965, 1966. um the Texas Miners, they made history when in the NCAA championship game they started all five black players, and back then this was unheard of. This was very unheard of, and I think it's important, you know to know that even though like it's Black history, it does take, white folks, to help along the way. You know what I mean? It does take, because Coach is Don Hawkins and he's played by Josh Lucas. He is building his team. The team doesn't have a lot of salary, a lot of money. So he's building his team. He's not thinking about race, he's thinking about talent, and he's going around everywhere searching for a lot of players that, are overlooked, that don't get a lot of playing time, that's underrated. And so and everybody keeps telling them they're all black. This is unheard of. You don't play black players. You don't play the Negroes. You play one on the road, one away, one if you're winning by 20. This is unheard of. And what I like to do in movie reviews is I like me and my guests to say a word that, describes the movie. I mean, what word would you describe this movie? Because mine is inspiring. I feel like this is very inspiring, and it's universally inspiring because I feel like your family can sit down, different races, different ages, and be inspired by this movie. What would your word be?
My word would be privilege
Okay.
because um, privilege kind of hand in hand. It's like once you have it, what are you gonna do with it? You have to make change. Um, and I think this film kind of showed, especially with the coaches, like which route you could take with your privilege, and you can really change people's lives. And so that's the word I'm going with.
That's dope. That's dope. It does take a lot of, white people to understand, yeah, you have privilege and what can you do to help? There was definitely, white people that would get, called names, like nigger lover or something like that when you would be on the side of helping blacks. But,
But in addition to that, not just race wise, that's one. The other one I mean by privilege is like Bobby was also privileged too, like played by Derek Luke, OG, shout out. And he was privileged to be there too. Like you said, he was scouting people out. Like even though they were overlooked, they were like overlooked greatness, like overlooked people, but they still had a privilege because other people was overlooked even over like them. But they stood out, and so they had a privilege to be there, which the coach kind of put in check to them, like you have to take this serious. You know what I mean? So, but that's what I'm also meant too by privilege, like the white privilege aspect, but also like once you're in that room, it's all on you. And it's like he was fighting to like open the doors for them to play. And it's like, okay,
hmm
but you in there, it's all about that talent. It's all on you.
yeah. Um, I definitely, I definitely see what you're saying because there is a scene where, Bobby, he's always going out, sneaking out. This coach making him run those stairs late at night, as a punishment, because they was kind of like button heads, and it's like you finally got a chance to play. You was sitting on the bench, your head down, and you're not. You only play like a minute, Now you can got a chance to play, so go to sleep early. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Go to sleep early, get ready for practice. Um, what what would be your favorite scene? Do you have a favorite scene or a favorite character in the movie?
Favorite scene would be like one of the players' mothers was waiting for the coach in the like stand like in the hallway lobby, and they had a discussion about her son wanting him to play, and just with the way they met up, it wasn't like on the sidelines where everybody could see. It was kind of like ducked off. Look, I want my son to play. He loves the game. I know he shouldn't, but like this could be his only chance to really play something that he really enjoys, and just the advocating. I know we talked about in my review about community and it starts from home, and she kind of showed that in this film too. Like the community starts with you know the people you know first, and I like advocated for her son to play.
Okay, okay, okay. I have a couple favorite scenes in the movie where they're meeting the all the teammates are meeting each other, and there's some white teammates and their black teammates, and they end up playing in the cafeteria, and the trash can is the basket, and they're playing with lettuce, and it looked very fun, even though they supposed to be in college, mature, but they still kids, and I did like that, even though it was kind of entertaining, and it kind of showed like they're even butting heads as a team, so they had to overcome that too, like um getting together as a team no matter their color, and another scene that I liked was when his name is Henry Flornon. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I don't know, but his name Henry, and he wasn't taking school seriously. No, Harry. His name was Harry. Um, Played by a good actor, Cad Brooks. I like him. He's been in a couple stuff. There's a lot of underrated actors in this movie that I feel like, you know, they need more roles, need more shine for sure, and he's definitely one of them. Um, he even played a little short role in Just Right. He played a short role in the TV show The Game,
Wait, what?
where Makad Brooks, he played in The Game where he was Tia's boyfriend after, you know,
Oh,
yeah,
he's been in some films too.
yeah, but it's very
Oh, he was
short
in this
role.
one messed up film called Adulterers. That film is crazy.
I
Okay,
never saw that.
that's a crazy film.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Yeah, you'll like it. It's crazy. It's like a what if scenario.
Hmm. What if? So I liked it because his mother was marching. You know, he she was marching to that classroom, and when his mom showed up, he was like, "I'm in trouble," and in class, she would raise her hand and said, "Yeah, Harry knows the answer," and force him to answer and participate in class. So I like that scene, and yeah, even the scene where he runs away from the coach Hawkins and Hackins, and he's at mom's house already. He beats him to the house, and gets on the mother's side like, you going. So he coach put on that charisma. Do you have a favorite character,
Um,
or you just like everybody?
I liked everybody. It's hard to choose. Everybody had to overcome things. Um, yeah, I can't choose. That's too hard. Everybody, and it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
It's even hard. So it's like everybody's dope. You know.
So I have a couple. So shout out to uh Ali. She played Tina, which is Bobby Hill's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we all know her from Ashley, Fresh Prince.
Oh,
Tatsina Ali.
Tiana Ali.
Yeah, I really liked her. And Sam Jones the third. We know him. He played Willie. We know him from this movie. He played in the movie, and Nelly was in the movie. And
Nelly been
it
in
wa-
one movie.
it was like
Oh,
it
yeah,
was like
Sniper. Snipes.
yeah, he that was him. That was a good movie. And so I liked his character. He was short.
What's
And
short people?
oh no, you know, you have to like overcome that. But I also liked Neville Shed, because he had to overcome things too, because he had to overcome that soft label, you're not tough, because he was like skinny big man. And the other big mans, they had muscles. He was skinny, not as big, but he got a broken nose, and he's like, no, I got to make this scene. I ain't going home. And he showed that toughness, and he's been in some short stuff. He was in How High. He didn't even say anything. He was mute, but he would like smoke, stuff. His name is Al Shearer. And also, I think he was a host of an old BET show where he was on the street talking to people. I think that was him. I forgot the name of the show, but it was when BET was really popping, when they had
Yeah,
Rap City.
I found this
Speaking of,
back MTV show. It's like I'm like, how did I even find this? Like those old films. Those are good.
also another favorite character I like is Derek Luke. played by
Like
Bobby.
his kid.
He was Bobby Joe Hill because he's been in a lot of films, but my favorite film he probably was in was Antoine Fisher. He played the heck out of that role. It's a movie with Denzel. It's a really good movie. So, what would the lesson be in this movie? Because it was a lot of there was there definitely they definitely showed a lot of racism. When they went to the diner and Neville was beat up. You know, people throwing stuff at him, spitting on him, calling him different names, um, and people not believing in them because they were in the South, and there was like there's no D1 black player starter, you know. And it was like unwritten rules that everyone knew, like to not play blacks, because they thought, oh, they're not as smart. Sure they can run, but they didn't like all the flashiness, Also, like they're like, oh, their play style, they didn't like it, and so it was just, and even Don had to, um, their basketball styles had to mix. They had to come together, right? And Bobby Joe Hill was like, "Let us play our game," and so they had to mix their styles, like the fundamentals, but also playing more free, more relaxed, flashy. Um,
Like Drumline.
yeah, because they're yeah, let it loose, let it fly. Have a little swag. You know what I'm saying? Um, what would you think would be the biggest lesson in the movie or lessons? Because yeah,
Everybody everybody has their wave. Just gotta ride it together. It's better when you ride it together. Because everybody in this film had something they had to overcome. Like the players had to overcome um, many hate their way just walking into a gym to play their favorite game, and the stands, people in the stands hating, like overcoming those things on a consistent basis. The coach, his family, like his family could have like up and walked away from that too. Like his wife could have been like, you know what, I'm actually good. This is fair. Or she could have sided with all the other people who were on the hateful side, because that kind of showed where their marriage was to like who they were as people. Um, because it would suck if it was like, no, she's like racist and terrible, and you're like, oh, but you married it, right? But but that kind of like reassured him that, okay, I got a good one, like we're good, we're gonna get through this together. So it's just like a reminder to just like everybody's gonna have something to deal with, but it's just better when you deal with it together.
yeah, a lesson that I learned is like, you got to prove people wrong, and you can only do that by like it takes everybody. Every It's just like a team.
Mm-hmm.
There's five starters. They made history, but you also need the bench. What if people are in foul trouble? And even like when Neville got beat up, there was like, nah, they ain't doing this to us no more. We gotta stick together more. Um, Even when, the whites and the blacks, they would go to the, maybe like it, I would say it was a club, but I don't know how they would say it back then. But they would get to know each other, and the white boy was dancing and stuff. So they got to know each other, and when the whole world is against you, all you got is your team. And that's what it was about. It was about banding together, even though we have differences, came from different backgrounds. We can do this. We can win. We can prove everybody wrong. And think about it. This was history. 5 starters. And there was a comment in the movie that said, um, one of the assistant coaches was like, blacks being the history, being the future of basketball. Can you imagine that? Like, bro, now it's a whole, the whole league is black now. You you very rarely have white players, and there are some white players still left that can, ball, you know, and actually now
That's a good point.
it's reversed. It's like if you're white, they think you can't ball actually. So it's kind of like reverse, kind of like white man can't jump. He had to show he still can't. He can play too. And now the basketball is growing so much that it's gotten international now. Like you have Giannis from Greece, and you have Luka from Slovenia, and you have Jokic from Serbia, and basketball is growing. But I say that all to say he started a trend. Yeah, the first, they won with all 5 blacks starting. And guess what happened? So the Kentucky coach, the Kentucky Wildcats coach, he was, facing them, right?
Hmm.
Oh, and they had Pat Riley on that team too. Pat Riley he was a really great NBA player, and now he's like the GM and president of Miami Heat. But
Nice.
Adolph Rupp, right? That
Yeah.
was the coach name. He actually has an arena named after him now. The next, he follows that same trend. So if it wasn't for Don Hawkins, I don't know. I'm just gonna say Don. I'm really bad at pronouncing names, y'all. I'm sorry. But if it wasn't for him starting this trend, other white coaches wouldn't have done it. They're like, oh, okay, he did it, so let me do it. Now, could they have done it because they want to win? They probably like, oh, okay, we want to win. So you're sort of using the blacks now because Don wasn't using them, right? But I feel like some white coaches and actually some white owners, they're a little racist still, but they're like, oh, we want this player. We don't we they say things behind the scenes about the black players, but they still want them on the team because it helps them win. But Adolfo Rupp, he did it, and so now more Kentucky Wildcat players are black now because he started that trend. But if it wasn't for Don beating him, you know, with that starting lineup in the championship game, maybe Rupp doesn't do that.
Hmm.
But so, how would you rate the film?
5 out of 5 stars.
Oh, okay.
That's I
Okay.
tried. It was good lessons in it, good shots, good. How did you feel about the basketball shots?
I definitely liked it. I love the ball handling. I like the big man, the bald one. Let me see his
You
name.
gotta rate them separate, like film, but then like if it's a basketball film, you gotta rate that alone. Like how was the scenes?
Right. His name was David Lanton. So I'll do that. So the basketball scenes, I'll give it I'm gonna give it, man, this is hard. I'm sorry. I'm gonna give it a I'm gonna give it a B plus.
Whoa, tough, tough.
I'm gonna give it a B plus. Because
And
I feel
why?
like
Why
yes,
did you give it a B
yes,
plus?
Yes, it's a basketball film, and yes, they probably worked on their basketball skills. But at the end of the day, it's bigger than basketball, you know. But yeah, I would give it a B plus, and
What could
I
they
would
have
give the
improved?
overall, huh?
What could they have improved? What are the standards from Abby Ballin? What are the like, top three?
For like a basketball film,
Top
um,
three.
I feel like the championship game was the best basketball scene wise. But there wasn't like before championship game. I don't really think it had the same intensity level, maybe.
Mm,
But I get it. It's a championship game. It's the last game you're gonna see in the film, right? But I just don't think, the basketball scenes before that were that great. Because I feel like in certain basketball movies, like there's multiple basketball scenes that are like super great. Like in He Got Game, um, there was like multiple basketball scenes that I really enjoyed.
mhm.
But for Glory Road, I feel like I mainly enjoyed the last championship game scenes. Um,
I think about
you
it
know,
like, what's the highlight before the championship highlight? You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the Bucks now, like, what's a game that you're like, no, that is a dope game. It's going down in history. You don't really look at those. You look at like that game they won. Like, oh yeah.
yeah, like multiple games in a series,
Mm-hmm.
out of a 7 game series, what's your favorite? But yeah, but I give the movie a A. I definitely give it an A because of the lessons, the emotion, the different characters, the acting. Oh, even the music was fire. I was like, this music is fire. I wasn't born then, but the movie was fire. Let me see. They was playing the Isley Brothers, Shake It Up, Stevie Wonder. They was playing My God, Jordan River,
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Gaye, Life Jennings, Alicia Keys. We know them though. The train is coming. Oh, Smokey Robinson, Dancing in the Streets. So I really enjoyed the music. I really enjoyed the music. So yeah, I would give it an A. I would have gave it an A plus, but I feel like, everything can't be. But the newspaper scenes, the cameras, the old cameras flashing, that was good cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
Different music on the bus. I did like that scene when they were sharing different the boombox and stuff like that, or I don't know what you call it back then. They was sharing music, and that's another way you can bond over music. Then
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about this music. Oh, something like that. Black and white TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they was getting to know each other through slang too. Bad is good. And make sure you guys watch this movie, talk about it with your family, friends. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys watch and learn more about Black history this month and all year, year round for sure. And
Yeah.
support me on my daily challenge. I thought you had said something about Black history. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, yeah. Also, go check out Road to William right now. Right now. Road to William. Yeah. And also, last but not least, stay ballin'. Peace.